The S-400 Triumph, known by NATO as the SA-21 Growler, is not just a missile system, it's a message. A message of technological strength, strategic depth, and modern warfare dominance. Developed by Russia's Almazan-T, the S-400 entered service in 2007, but its story began years earlier, shaped by the arms race and shifting air combat dynamics after the Cold War. This system was designed to do what many believed impossible: intercept and neutralize almost any airborne threat, from fighter jets, cruise missiles and drones to ballistic missiles and even stealth aircraft. Its radar system can detect targets more than 600 kilometers away, while its most powerful missiles, the 40N6, can destroy targets up to 400 kilometers out and at altitudes of up to 30 kilometers. But the S-400's true strength isn't just in range, it's in flexibility. It operates with 4 different missile types simultaneously, each with its own role and range. This creates a layered defense umbrella that's nearly impossible to penetrate. A low-flying drone? Eliminated. A hypersonic threat? Engaged. A stealth jet at high altitude? Detected and tracked through advanced radar systems like the 91N6E Big Bird and 96L6E Cheeseboard, which work together in a seamless network. The S-400 is also highly mobile, allowing it to be repositioned quickly and deployed within minutes. Each battery includes radar units, command vehicles, and multiple launchers, all working together like a self-contained fortress on wheels. But more than its technical power, the S-400 is a geopolitical tool. Countries like China, India, and Turkey have chosen the system, not just for defense, but for status and influence. Owning an S-400 means you're not just playing the game of defense, you're reshaping it. And the controversy? It's real. Nations that bought it faced US sanctions, NATO criticism, and military tension. Why? Because the S-400 doesn't just defend airspace. It challenges alliances. It sends a signal that the rules of aerial warfare and the balance of global power are being rewritten. Some experts argue that introducing the S-400 to a region forces all surrounding nations to rethink their strategies. It creates an invisible dome of deterrence, making potential enemies hesitate. Not because of what it does, but because of what it might do in a moment of crisis. One of the most impressive features of the S-400 system is its multi-layered interception capability. Unlike many older defense systems that rely on a single type of missile, the S-400 integrates short, medium, and long-range interceptors into a single launch platform. This means it can respond to threats at varying distances and altitudes simultaneously. Each battery typically includes up to 8 launchers, with 4 missiles each, totaling 32 ready-to-fire interceptors. Combined with highly advanced command and control vehicles, it allows seamless target tracking, missile guidance, and fire control, all in real time. The command system can coordinate with other radars, ground stations, and even integrate into broader national air defense networks. What gives the S-400 an edge is not just its range, but its reaction speed. Once a threat is identified, the system can lock on, launch, and intercept within a matter of seconds. It can track up to 300 targets simultaneously and engage 80 of them, a capability unmatched by many Western equivalents. Another major strength lies in its radar technology. The 91N6E Big Bird radar provides long-range surveillance. The 92N6 Gravestone is the fire control radar, responsible for guiding the missile to its target with surgical precision. Supporting radars like the 96L6C add additional situational awareness and altitude tracking. Together, they form a network that can see deep into enemy territory, even tracking targets, flying below radar horizon. But every system has its limits. Despite its power, the S-400's performance is largely theoretical in many respects. Real combat data is limited. Critics argue that while its specs are impressive on paper, true effectiveness depends on training, terrain, and the enemy's tactics. Still, the system has proven itself in military drills, joint exercises, and real-time operations. In Syria, for example, Russia deployed S-400 units to protect its assets, not only deterring foreign aircraft from unauthorized entry, but also shifting control of the airspace without firing a single shot. The presence of an S-400 can influence regional diplomacy. In Turkey's case, its decision to acquire the system created a rift with NATO, resulting in its removal from the F-35 fighter jet program. The U.S. viewed the system as a threat to its stealth technology, fearing that Russian engineers might learn too much from NATO aircraft flying near Turkish-operated S-400s. This has led to a broader question in global defense circles. Can you maintain alliances while embracing adversary technology? The S-400 forces nations to weigh security against politics, sovereignty, against dependency. And as more countries consider purchasing it, others prepare responses. NATO enhances its radar networks. The U.S. promotes alternatives like the Patriot or THAAD systems. Israel upgrades its multi-layered Iron Dome and David's Sling. The race isn't just for range or speed. It's about who controls the sky in tomorrow's wars. As nations invest more in next-generation warfare, the question remains: where does the S-400 fit in the future of air defense? With the rise of hypersonic missiles, drone swarms, and AI-controlled aircraft, airspace is becoming more complex and more dangerous. Russia has already begun developing the S-500 Prometei, the successor to the S-400, claimed to be capable of intercepting intercontinental, ballistic missiles, and even low-orbit satellites. The S-500 pushes the boundaries of what ground-based air defense can achieve. But despite that, the S-400 remains the backbone of Russia's layered air defense strategy, and the export demand proves its ongoing relevance. In many ways, the S-400 is more than just technology. It represents a nation's sovereignty. Countries that buy it are saying, "We won't depend solely on Western defense systems." It's not just about missiles. It's about military independence, regional dominance, and strategic signaling. But this independence comes with cost. Nations acquiring the S-400 must weigh the diplomatic backlash, especially from the United States, which has imposed CAATSA sanctions on several buyers. These sanctions aren't just symbolic. They can freeze military aid, block weapons deals, and isolate nations politically. Despite that, countries like India have moved forward with large S-400 purchases, arguing that defense is not an area for compromise. Others, like Saudi Arabia, have considered it as an alternative to American systems, especially in the wake of drone and missile attacks on their oil infrastructure. In a world where threats evolve rapidly, reliable, multi-layered defense becomes priceless. The S-400 also triggered a conversation on asymmetric defense. It's far cheaper to destroy a $100 million fighter jet with a $2 million missile than vice versa. This economic asymmetry is redefining how smaller nations plan their defense and how larger ones try to maintain air superiority. Another point rarely discussed: psychological deterrence. Knowing an S-400 is deployed in an area can alter mission planning for enemy air forces. Pilots may avoid certain routes, delay operations, or fly higher, making them less effective. It's a system that doesn't always need to fire. its very presence, can win a battle before it begins. Looking ahead, experts debate whether future conflicts will be won by air dominance or electronic warfare. But one thing is clear: as long as aircraft fly, there will be systems designed to shoot them down. And among those, the S-400 stands as a symbol of precision, reach, and readiness. In a time when wars are fought with satellites, cyber attacks, and unmanned systems, the S-400 reminds us that sometimes power still lies in the physical presence of steel and radar on the ground. Watching the skies with silent, calculated focus, it may not be invisible, it may not be perfect, but in the eyes of many, it's enough to change the rules of engagement.